with me and Kaitlin. I always do it wrong every time. As you can see, we have this little banner up here. StreamYard has given us a free week of their premium free because we've been beta testing it for them. And so, I mean, I'm liking it so far. I don't know if it's worth the amount of money, but yeah, but it might wind up being. We have access to some pretty cool things that we can kind of mess with, like we can get rid of our names, and we have this little banner that we can add and get rid of. All of these cool things. So without further ado, we'll just kick it off and start off with what you've done in the past 48 hours.
All right. So it's kind of been a crazy whirlwind. So I haven't gotten everything I've wanted to do. But, and also I have to start this with, I don't have the copyrights for this, obviously. But, oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. I got it. So I'm doing this cute little guidebook to the rides in Magic Kingdom because when we go to Disney World coming up, we want to ride every ride in the park. And so I thought it'd be super cute to have this little guidebook that we can check off and play with. So this is the cover. And then I only have one page done right now, which is this Adventureland page. So it's kind of themed after the area. And then it's got like snacks you can eat. And then the rides that are in that part of the park. So I think it's going to be really cute. I've been considering potentially trying to convince Disney to let me sell them, but it'll be fun to see how much that'll cost. Yeah.
I think they're adorable. I love it. I would use it.
Right? And my mom keeps saying like, oh, let's just print a bunch of them and then you can just leave them around the park. And I'm like, that sounds
sued.
Yeah, I was like, that's the total way to get sued. Any Disney employee picks that up and is like, oh, what's this? Oh, Kaitlin, let's go after her. So.
And Disney's gonna take all your money.
Oh yeah,
all of it. But hey, Disney, if you want to hire Kaitlin over here, she's looking for a job.
That's just what it'll be. Is I'll go and I'll try and get the copyright, and I'll end my presentation with, or you could just hire me. And then, like, it's all yours. Like,
you get it all.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, that should be a selling point.
Yep.
Sorry, I've written out all these notes about things I want to say, right? Because that's what I started doing. And I didn't pull it up. Okay. So for me, I've done a good amount. I've done everything that I said I was going to do and a little bit more, except a little bit less because I did not research social media stuff.
Oh.
But life got to a point where it was just like, I don't have time to sit down and research social media stuff if I also need to design.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let me see if I can pull it up. Ta-da! So first I have our little feedback thing that we did, Wednesday? Where we hung out just for a couple hours afterwards, like multiple hours, and you just gave me feedback on a bunch of stuff. And you're not the only person that I went and got feedback from, actually. I got it from a lot of people, and I didn't just get feedback, but I got help. Alyssa Tomlin, she's a graphic designer as well, and she helped me figure out actually the watercolor. So this way the stickers wound up like this. So that was one day of stickers. I want to say that was day 6. Come on. And we have day 7, day 8, and day 9, which is Jekyll and Hyde. And so I did, though, technically I should be on day 10, but I took I'll talk about it in my challenges, but I had to take a day. And I a bunch like a lot of sketches. Like my Jekyll and Hyde sticker is not what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you remember because I showed it to you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tried it. It looked like a really bad Picasso thing. Awful. Like, straight up the worst. And so I just went back to sketching.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was like, it's a good like sketch idea, but when you try to vectorize it and make all of the lines straight with like the face structure that I was going for and everything else, it just looked really bad. And so I scrapped it and then went straight back to the sketching and just have been sketching all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've done.
Nice.
Thanks. So what are your challenges? We have a little bit to discuss.
Yeah, we talked about some things. Mostly, I mean, I was thinking about a lot today. And have you, I mean, I would be surprised if you've never heard of but the 4 quadrant things from Stephen Covey. Let me see if I can get a picture of it.
Like ringing a bell.
But basically the idea of it is that there are 4 quadrants that all of your activities fall into, all of the things that you need to do. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, yeah. I know. Okay.
Here. I just want to look at the. Has your Google started doing this where it just weirdly puts it off to the side? I hate it. Anyways, I'm going to share my screen real fast.
I thought it was a Mac thing.
I hope not, because I hate it.
Because it's happening on my PC.
Yeah. Okay. So you have the 4 quadrants, and so the quadrant number 1 is important and urgent, and then important, not urgent, and then urgent, not important, and then not important or urgent. And so you're supposed to be taking care of the stuff in quadrant 2 that's important but not urgent. But most people end up falling into 1 and 3, which is important and urgent, or but not important. And I feel like that's what I'm doing right now, because I feel like the things that I'm doing are important and they are things that need to get done, but they're so they're urgent but they're not important, if that yes, yeah, that's what it feels like. Is I'm doing things for other people that have to get done and need to get done, and I've spent this whole weekend just being so stressed with all the things that we're trying to plan, and it all needs to get done, but in the balance of what I want to be doing with my life, it's not important. And so I was realizing today that I need to shift my priorities, and I need to start doing things that are important but not urgent. But I struggle with feeling like I'm letting people down, because one of the things, if you see in the third quadrant, it says it's not your emergency. And I feel like that's what a lot of these things are, is it's not my emergency, but I want to help out someone who it is an emergency for. So yes, what I did to combat that is I did these cute little, I did it earlier today because I realized that I have done nothing and I have nothing to show today. So I was like, all right, I got to at least do something. So I broke down what I needed to do this week into these categories and then scheduled stuff out. Got this cute little, here, we can go back to this one. But I have this is at least my schedule for tomorrow. So yeah. Yes. I went back to my giant, really big planner that I had in school.
Is that an hourly one?
Yes. It took me forever to find one like this, because I
need the hourly.
If I schedule myself, I have to do it hourly or I don't keep it. And I've been that way since I was a little kid, but it's 1 day per page, and then it's broken down hourly. And then I had to go buy these little month tabs because it didn't come with it. But I mean, you can look at when I was in school, I've got it broken down for
Can you
and what?
Can you send me the link to buy that?
Yeah, it's one of the generic ones from Staples, I think. Yeah, but I love it. It's my favorite.
That's what I need, because like I have planners and I've tried so many different planners and whatnot, but like it never gets done. And so I use my phone, which is great because I have it hour by hour and whatnot in my phone. It's not just my phone that notifies me, but it's also like my computer and my iPad, like they all notify me.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I can sit there and like write it down and whatnot, I used to use RM planners. And I stopped using them because everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, did you go on a mission?" I'm like, "No, I just
like the hourly." Yeah.
I just like the hourly planners. Anyways, that's good.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll keep it. So
yeah, you got to get a YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel set up.
I have a YouTube channel. There's just nothing on it. So I need to put a thing on it.
Did you get permission? We'll talk about this after. But
well, the answer is yes. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah. So I can host on Wednesday.
So if you're watching us on Wednesday, go to Kaitlin's channel.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it. Oh, maybe it's a thing of going pro or premium or whatever.
We'll have to check it out.
We will have to check it out. Anyways, keep on getting distracted. My challenges. See, I'm beating a dead horse. It's the same challenge. But there's been another challenge on top of it. But the first challenge is seriously the family and friend versus like art balance. And we were talking about this before, but it's like, okay, for 2 years, I haven't really had to be super concerned about like, okay, family, like I need to make time for them and I need to do what this is. Sorry, it's okay. It was like bothering me because I could see everything I was doing. And it hasn't, I just haven't had to be like, okay, I have to take time for my family. I have to do this. And for the family members that I'm talking to now, it's been 10 years since I've had to make time for them. And so like now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't just go do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I can't just say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 7 p.m. I'm doing this live stream thing and not, be questioned about it and, be like, well, why do you need to do it? Da, 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 da. And just like people not understanding it. And, that's like not on my family's fault or anything. They just, they don't know it. But it's a serious challenge because it's like, hey, I can't hang out because I have to design a sticker in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, well, why? Like, it's not for school credit. Like, I don't know why. And so it's really hard because, like, for me, I'm just like, well, I haven't, it's been 2 years since I've had to worry about this. So my art is coming first because that's what's been happening. And you can't do that. Although I really want to.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's kind of dumb that you can't do that, but I understand that you can't. So that, oh, there's a baby crying. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear her.
I did a little bit.
So that's the little girl I babysit. Yeah, my shift ended already. But the second one, on top of that, kind of like creates this little anxiety bubble where like I got anxious about that, and then like my anxiety kind of like built up, and like today it wasn't so bad, but like the Mario Wario sticker, you texted me and you're like, hey, I really like that sticker, and I was like, dude, I hated that sticker. And like on Instagram I like talked about like how I like didn't even want to post it, like all of this stuff, and it was just like in my head, like I built it up. And like, oh, well, I'm spending too much time on my art and I'm not spending enough time with my family. And so then I like stopped doing my art, and then I tried to simply focus on family, and then I got behind. And so it's a big mess. Yeah. So everybody knows how to handle it. Give me a email or text or anything, comment it on the video. Anything on how to work out the family balance. Although I'm never gonna really have to deal with it again because I live in Idaho. So I live in Idaho. I come back for a week at a time from after vacation. Anyways, yeah, those are my challenges. How to overcome them? I don't know.
Still figuring that out.
Still figuring that out. My main goal is to not stop doing my stickers.
There you go.
Because I know that that's what's going to cave. What's going to cave in is either 48-hour art check or my stickers, and I don't want either of those things to be lost this week. And so I guess by setting those first and dealing with whatever comes from that, I don't know.
Yeah. But so 2 things I have to say to that is by doing multiple 24-day projects, one that failed miserably and the other one that did pretty well, they won't cave if you make them the priority. If you decide that that's not going to cave, then it's not going to cave. The other thing is in doing my 4-quadrant things today, I read a quote from Stephen Covey that was, you shouldn't prioritize your schedule, you should schedule your priorities. So if you make the time, if you make it a priority and you make it a time for it, then it'll work out.
Yes. That's what I need to do. It's just the repercussions of prioritizing. And I mean, we discussed this a little bit before we went live, but the repercussions of putting that above other people is just a weird thing that then you feel bad because you're not trying to tell them that they're a low priority because they're not.
Yeah.
You just have to I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mess. And again, my family's not doing it intentionally. Some of them don't even know that they're doing it. It's just me stressing myself out about it.
Yeah.
Because, I know that it just isn't understood what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my challenges. How I plan to overcome them. Scheduling my priorities is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm packing.
Oh yeah, that's a challenge.
I hate it. I have 2 suitcases and 2 backpacks to get my stuff back to Rexburg.
Fun.
Yeah. So it's a fun time. I've gotten rid of so much stuff. I've just started I donated so many clothes.
Yeah.
I think the only area of my life that hasn't diminished are my hats. I haven't gotten rid of any hats, and I probably should, but I haven't gotten rid of any hats. I haven't gotten rid of my ukulele, and I haven't gotten rid of any art stuff. But everything else is
yeah.
So
I'm like that with books. I never get rid of any books that I get. So I have a lot of books right now.
Yeah, I got rid of a couple books. If I have one book in a series, I'm not gonna go buy the rest of that series. And so I didn't even we have we have family bookshelves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just stuck the books that I wasn't on the family bookshelf.
Yeah.
So I technically didn't get rid of them, but I did. And even movies and just all of it. That's the stuff that I probably should be holding on to is my books.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's just easier for me to get rid of that than it is for my hats. I have to make room for my hats.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to my books or hats, choose hats. Anyways, but yeah, those are all my challenges.
Nice.
And how I'm overcoming them and whatnot.
Nice.
What are your plans?
Well, I kind of already talked about, I have my schedule. If I turn to my schedule, I am going to I have allotted myself 3 hours to finish the video and get it posted on YouTube tomorrow. So look for it. If it's not there, this is to you and to everyone else. Look for it. And if it's not there, please call me out on it. So
you will get a phone call.
Yeah, I need it. Just don't call me at like 10 in the morning.
I'm not even awake. That's 9 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
That's 9 a.m. my time. I'm not awake.
But yeah, so I have allotted myself time to finish that. And then an exciting thing, Kayla and I have discussed using that lava lamp icon to make it part of an intro for our 48-hour art check. So I have scheduled 4 hours to work on that tomorrow night. And then I have extra time Wednesday morning to finish it so that in theory, we can have it for our art check on Wednesday.
I need to create the paper ball.
Totally fine because the lava lamp isn't even done yet. So don't even worry about it.
As soon as you started saying it, I was like, I was supposed to make that by yesterday.
It is totally fine. I didn't even work on it because I was saying I was going to work on it over the weekend and that didn't happen. So It's fine. But we're going to have it by Wednesday.
Yep.
It is scheduled. It is going to happen. It is going to come to pass.
Yes, I am excited for that. So that's going on my list. I have to create a paper ball. Which you would think doesn't sound that challenging. But like I've been thinking about it in my head, and like you have to get like all of like the squiggles and everything like just right.
Well, I mean, you probably could do without the squiggles, but I do think you definitely need to do highlights and shadows, or it's not going to look like a paper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, my work doesn't typically consist of like highlights and shadows.
Yeah.
And so, like,
I
do it.
I'm very big into highlights and shadows. I feel like they very quickly elevate your design.
Oh, they do. And I need to use them. Like, for sure, I need to utilize them.
Mm-hmm.
I just, for some, like, the designs that I do I never think. Like, my top hat design, I totally could have used a highlight and shadow. Yeah, I could have. The stop sign, I did, because you said, why don't you
shadow?
Why don't you add a shadow? Like, I don't know. They escape my mind, and I definitely shouldn't. But there will be a paper ball.
Sweet.
That's one of the things. And then I'm hoping 2 stickers done. I know at some point this week I need to like take a day off because basically, so just for everybody that doesn't know, you have 24 days to do it, or you have 24 days that need to get stuff done, and you have 28 days to do it. And so you can utilize your days off. However, you have 4 days off. You can't go over 4. I've used 1. And so I have 3 left. And so with traveling all day Saturday, I'm actually hoping that means I don't need to take a day off. And so I might be using it, but it shouldn't be used until like Friday or Saturday, or hopefully not at all.
Yeah.
But hopefully 2 more stickers and the paper ball, and would like to start sketching for my animation. I don't know. I'm like itching to animate. I am like, the stickers are cool and they're fun, but like not animating them, I'm like, this is killing me. Like, I need to animate. I just went back and watched my old animation that I did, my brain one, just because I was like, I want to animate. But yeah, getting started on that in some way. That's about it.
Nice.
So,
nice.
You ready for the topic?
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited for this one. So, as always, today is my topic. It's Monday. I'm going to get rid of this banner on the top really quick. Hi. Okay. Just because, like, you can see the light from my ceiling fan. It's bothering me. Anyways, so our topic today is create your own templates. I came up with this topic. I sent you, like, a long list of topics last night. And this is the one, that was chosen. And I think that it's important um, for a couple of different reasons. And basically, we both took the social media class last semester. And this is kind of where I mainly talk about templates is social media um, and in flyers. Like, that's kind of where I see templates. Like, well, okay, I'll talk about templates and everything, especially slideshows and all of that. But my main thing is like using templates for social media because I'm like active in social media and whatnot. Anyways, when we took the social media class, we were told that we weren't allowed to use templates or stock photography. And I was like, wow, like that, I don't enjoy that because I was lazy. Um, and I was like, well, when I was social media in January, because I was a manager from January to April ish, and halfway through April it switched. But when I was social media manager from January to April, we used templates and they did fine, on social media.
Yeah.
But then when we were in class, the thing is, I wasn't like actively like looking at other business accounts or anything like that. But then when we were in class, and we had to create our own stuff and our own posts and everything, and I started to look at the businesses specifically like around where we go to school, and I would go, oh my gosh, I used that template. And like it would bother me. I was like, why are they using a template? They don't need to use a template. And then I was like, wow, like that's very judgmental of me because I totally was using templates. And I just think, and what we used was Canva. And Canva is excellent. Yes,
I've heard about that.
Canva has excellent templates. It has excellent stock photography. It is extremely easy to use, and that's great. And I know somebody who specifically would design in Canva. Like that's what they designed in. Like they learned how to move around the themes and whatnot, or not the themes, the items and all this stuff, and kind of customize it. But I didn't get that far into it. I knew how to change the colors, change the shapes of some things, and I would just use that template.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I realized is that everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And if you have the ability to not, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that the thing is, I'm not saying don't use templates because in my YouTube, it is so obvious that I use templates. I just created myself. And so, like, with me retaking over social media, I have told the, like, assistant social media manager or whatever, we're not using templates anymore. We're creating our own.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they're going to be Illustrator files, and everybody's going to know how to use the templates. And, like, she's making one right now because she has one that's for a story, but we're compressing it into a square for Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's important because, like, as an artist or as a social media manager that knows artists or anything like that, using a template doesn't bring individuality to whatever you're trying to do. And especially if you know how to use Illustrator or even InDesign, it's kind of a cop-out to use a template, in my opinion. And, like, I'm not trying to call people out or anything, but, like, in my unsolicited opinion, it's a cop-out. And, like, I was totally using the cop-out. I was like, oh, I don't need to use this. I'll just use a template. But, like, there's no point. If I have the ability to create my own template, why would I go use Canva?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I'm curious for yours.
So I was kind of thinking of it from a different standpoint, because I have only ever used templates for one specific thing, and it's for mock-ups of my own designs. And so, like, whenever I design a poster, I want to show what a poster will look like. So I'll download a mock-up template and just, like, put my design in it, and, like, it's already done and it looks great. And the reason that I want to get away from that is twofold. And the first one is I feel like it's a crutch. I feel like because I don't know how to make mock-ups, I use someone else's work and it's easier. But I'm preventing myself from learning a new skill. I'm like taking myself out of it, which I think is as I learned from our animation project last semester, I shouldn't sit there and be like, oh, it's hard to learn that skill. I don't want to learn that skill. And the second reason I think I should get away from that is kind of like a self-reliance one, where like if I can make my own templates, then like I don't have to go. I mean, I would only ever spend like $1 or $2 on one, but if I knew how to make my own templates, like I could not spend that money. But on the same side of that coin, if I knew how to make templates and mock-ups, I could be selling my mock-ups for a bunch of money. And so I think that templates can be a good crutch for if you don't have that skill, but you shouldn't rely on them. You should move forward and learn that skill.
You and I took completely different approaches.
No, we always do this.
So different, but I love it.
Yeah.
We're going to have a long episode. You and I just completely different approaches because I didn't even think of mock-up templates as templates in my head. Like that wasn't even a thought because I use them. I use Photoshop mock-ups. Mm-hmm. But in my head, like they were never like templates. They're just like mock-ups.
Yeah.
And so like I've never even thought of that as a template. Like my thought process for templates is like when it's a social media post or a something like that, or like a flyer. That's when or a slideshow. But for templates or for
and it solely is because like I never used a template for any of those things.
Really?
Like, yeah. As soon as I learned how to, and like I feel like, I mean, obviously like in elementary school I would use like the basic PowerPoints, but like I am very much I like to have control over what I'm presenting. And so I don't like using templates because I don't have control over it. And this was something we talked about when I was learning manual photography, of like the more things that you can control about what you're doing, the better your photo will be. And I kind of like applied that to everything else that I do, of like the more you can control about this design, or the more you can control about this flyer or this concept, the better it will be, because like you can like do everything with it. Like you're not relying on the camera to focus on the right thing if you focus it yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how I've always thought of it, of like, I want to control as much as possible because I want it to be as good as possible. And honestly, there were some times with my baseball cards when I was putting them in mock-ups that I wish I knew how to do mock-ups, because like I would be struggling to find, because I mean, I ended up using business card mock-ups for my baseball cards, and business cards are thinner than baseball cards, or like each template was a different size. And it was just like, if I knew how to do this, I could like do it myself and have it look exactly like how I wanted it to look. And so I'm kind of, at least that's what I read when you sent me the topic. I took it as, yes, because I want to stop doing that. Like I want to not use templates. But
yeah.
So I'm still like wrapping my head around both sides of art. Because I use mock-up templates because I can't make my own.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at it, because I have been looking into it, and at one point I Googled it, all that mock-up templates are it's stock photography that they went through, and like they took a picture of a business card and then cut out the business card and made it so that you could put your own business card in there. So like, I mean, obviously when you get into perspective, or if you get into 3D, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. But that's genuinely all it is you take a photo of a white coffee cup and then you can stick a logo on the white coffee cup. So it's like, yeah.
See, I've done that, and like for posters and stuff, like I haven't used a template, but for stickers, I use
Yes.
templates.
Like those get tricky.
Because they get tricky because you have the white border.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the perspective, because you keep using the one where he's like got it stuck on the journal on the bottom. That's not a straightforward design. It's been like warped and moved and stuff, and you have to get the highlights and shadows right to make it look like it's in the photo. So you can definitely get complicated. Like obviously it's more complicated than stock photography, but I mean it's almost on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I feel like a jerk because at the beginning I was like, there's like no reason to be using templates for your social media posts or anything like that, and I do still believe that. And like again, I'm not perfect, but like I am implementing like we can't use templates, and like just my thought process on templates was completely different because in my opinion, like I never thought of a mock-up as a template ever. And so now I'm like thinking about the fact that like for the past 9 days, I have been using mock-ups that I found on the internet because I like can't make a mock-up.
Yeah.
Well, like I need to. I don't have the knowledge of Photoshop yet to do that.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, like the templates that I'm using aren't like it's not like I've like taken somebody else's stock picture and then like thrown it on something. Like the templates that I found, one of them is like a really weird perspective thing that I love that mock-up so much, the journal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one where it's like the wood, basically like it creates the outline for you. And so you can see what a die cut would look like. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like now I need to go create my own mock-ups.
Well, so you just need to look at it this way of it's a placeholder until you learn that skill.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you've got a lot of things going on. And so maybe eventually you can plan to learn how to make mock-ups. But like you don't have to do that right now to make sure that your project looks good. Kind of relating it back to learning manual photography. Like when you learn manual photography, you don't jump right in and control everything. It's like you learn how to control the shutter speed, and then you learn how to control the aperture. Like you learn each different part, and then together you can control it all. And so like eventually you can learn how to make mock-ups, but it's not something you have to do like right now.
So do you want to start to create mock-ups? And I want to talk about mock-ups, but then I do want to talk like more about like the social media aspect of it too.
Yeah.
But do you want to like create mock-ups as you go kind of thing? Like, okay, this one will be for a poster. Okay, this one will be for a sticker. Like, is that kind of what you want to do? Is just like you wind up with a bunch of mock-ups that you have, templates that you've created your own template?
Yeah. So I would like, basically, I would like to end up with like a library of a bunch of different mock-ups, but I don't think I'm ever going to sit down and like make a bunch of them. I think it would be like a make it as I go type thing. So like I just did a poster project and now I'm like, okay, let me go make a mock-up for a poster, like that type of thing.
Yeah. See, you know what I want to do now?
What?
I wish that there was like a practicum or like a visual society workshop where it was like, this is how you create a mock-up.
Well, I can't remember the name of it. There's a new Adobe program that you can, no, it's not XD. I'm scrolling through it and maybe I'll find it.
Oh, is it? No, Dimension is 3D.
I think that's what I was thinking. No.
Oh, let me look. I have Creative Cloud.
I'm going to be like wasting time.
No, I have it all.
No, yeah, I've got it up. I'm just scrolling through. Maybe it was
Dimension.
I think it was Dimension. Let me install it real fast. I bet
realistic 3D for creative designers.
But like I was watching
Somebody in the class used Dimension.
Yeah, it was Kaitlin, and I can't remember her new last name. But I think that's the program she was using. But she basically she had like a background of a table and a wall, and then she put like a brown paper bag on it and was able to like put a logo on the brown paper bag. And so like I like that better than using someone else's mock-ups, but I would still like to learn how to make a mock-up, and then I can just like put my own designs in my own mock-up. Because the other part of it is, at least the places that I get mock-ups from, they require you to attribute to where you got it or to the artist that created it, which like is totally fine. I totally obey all copyright laws. But I like, part of me hates having to attribute other artists when I'm showing off stuff that I've done, because I just want it all to be me.
Yeah, and I've found the two that I've found, they didn't even have like logos. One of them had a logo on it and it said "hide this," so like I don't need to attribute that person at all. And then the other ones, like, still, it was never like you have to attribute. It was just like, here's this.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you get it from, and the website that I was on, it had a bunch of free ones.
I searched the dark web.
Oh.
Because I found a free pick, great, but you have to attribute it every single time.
That's where I got all of my, or at least most of my mock-ups for was, I don't have enough space on my laptop to download another program.
Get a
delete some stuff.
External hard drive.
Yeah, I have one of those. I have too many programs. Yeah, and I have the small. What?
Delete InDesign.
No, I still use that. I just used that the other day to make labels for my little sister's wedding invitations.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the one I could part with.
I think I could part with that one.
Yeah, because you just use Illustrator.
Yeah.
I'm seriously saying we should just talk about Adobe one day.
No, because it would just turn into a giant rant sesh, and no one wants to listen to that.
I feel like people that also want to rant about Adobe would find this interesting. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's cool that XD is out there.
Yeah.
I have seen XD used for other things.
Wait, are you talking about XD or Dimension?
Oh yes, Dimension. That's what I mean. Sorry. XD is great. Is a great. XD is amazing. You know how to use XD to an extent that I don't. XD, your website templates. It's a really cool thing. Like, you can create your mock-up for your website design,
and it's like interactive, so you can go through and you can show how things are gonna look and what you like. If you click on this button, what does it do? Type thing.
Yes,
I am a fan.
Oh no, there we are. But like, let me pull it up. I'm like share this because I'm gonna show the website. So like this whole website, I did a mock-up of in XD. So like the whole diagonals and stuff, you're able to do that in XD, and this is broken and I don't know why, but CSS is fun. But like that whole thing you're able to mock up in XD. So XD is great. Dimension, I have seen it for 3D. It's like a 3D Photoshop.
Yeah.
Is what I've seen it used for. And it's because Professor Libert and I got into the conversation of it, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to try this out. And like he did it and then sent it to me, and then I went into his office and I was like, okay, wait, I want to know how. So like that's what I've seen Dimension for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did see Kaitlin using it in Professor Kerr's office. She was using XD, but I don't know much else. Or not XD, Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much else about it.
Yeah.
But Anyways, creating your own mock-up templates is a good skill to have.
Yes, it is something you can make money off of.
I seriously, I know I'm gonna come up with stuff to say after we hang up, and I know it's gonna happen because I was not prepared for that.
Surprise!
Surprise! You made a new topic. Okay. Let's go back to the topic that I did prepare for.
Yeah.
You didn't prepare for. Switch the tables. Social media templates and whatnot.
So
what are your thoughts on it? Because I know people that like are running social media, but they don't have visual communications background.
So
templates.
What do you mean by social media templates?
So my thought process is specifically Canva, and like I'm not trying to talk about Canva or anything. Like again, I'm gonna re-say that Canva's great. But Canva, you can go onto it and select a template where it's like, here's where the photo is, here's where your text goes, here's the vector that it is. Like you have all these different options. Anyways, you go in, you select your template, you can add a stock photography or you can add a stock photo. You can add the photo into the template. It like shapes it for you, crops it for you, does all that.
Okay.
The fonts for you. You just go
there. So Canva does social media posts. You can.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It specifically has like Instagram mock-up.
Yeah.
And I've used them. I have totally used them. I'm just like no longer allowing them to be used for the social medias that I'm running.
So my opinion on it, I mean, it's still kind of the same thing of like, it's a placeholder for people who don't know how to do it. So, and kind of like what you were saying before of like, if you know how to do it, then you should just do it. Because it's that idea of you can control it more, so it's gonna look better. Because Professor Kerr talks about this every once in a while in class of like, eventually we're all gonna be replaced by computers. Like,
yeah.
And Canva is a perfectly good example. You go in, you pick what kind of design you want, and it can do it all for you. But because we are creatives, because we are designers, we have a different thought. Like, we are inherently more creative than a computer is, like, obviously. So we need to be using those skills and proving that we are better than the computer just to make sure that it's job security. Like, if you can go out there and make a better design than a computer, then you're obviously going to get, hopefully you'll get hired.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing, you have to be better than the templates. And so I feel like it's a placeholder, but you're not going to get the same quality of design. And so it's just that idea of like, if you need to use it, then use it, but don't use it forever. Like, learn that skill and do it type thing.
Yeah. And like, that's the thing. And like, I love templates. Like, I think that templates are great, specifically like if you use them yourself. Because like, if I had to go every single video that we made and create a completely new thumbnail, there would be no thumbnails. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, there would be no thumbnails for these videos that would look good. But like for this one, like what I did was I was like, well, I'm creating a template for this type of video. I'm creating a template for this thumbnail. I'm creating a template for this thumbnail. I have 3 different thumbnails templates, and I just like rotate throughout these. Even this video bar like is similar. It's like a font and color that I use like for a different template that I have with my other YouTube videos. And so I think that templates are a great thing to utilize. Like I don't know. I don't want to get too much into like talking about social media because I know we're going to do social media week.
Yeah.
But templates, if you're creating them yourself, you can create like this template. I'm going to talk about, I guess, like my like job. So we do something called Tip Thursday. or Tip Tuesday, not Tip Thursday, Tip Tuesday, and every like Tuesday we provide a public speaking tip. And we've changed it up so much that I don't remember quite what this is bad. I'm the social media manager. It's all written down on a calendar. My memory is weird, but I can create a template set.
Sorry.
This is my job. But I can create like a theme and create all of these different templates that are in this theme, and then my whole social media page is coherent.
Mm-hmm.
Like has a theme, and it looks really nice to look at. Because like if I have one template for this and one template for this and one template for this, and none of them look the same, like why, like you can't use those for a social media page. And that's definitely kind of what we were doing when I ran social media for a semester, then this other girl ran social media for a semester, and now it's back to me. Well, both of us, I went in and we scrapped the whole Instagram page, started using templates. And then she came in and scrapped the whole templates and started using stock photography. And so now we're like bringing them together, except not using stock or pre-made templates, like doing our own. And so like with that, it gives you the flexibility to choose your theme for your social media page.
Yeah.
Like that might have been a roundabout way of saying it. I got off track, but it gives you that flexibility. And I think that flexibility you can't trade for. Especially like the thought process of like, well, I can change the color on the template. Yeah, you change the color, but if you're using a watercolor template and then you have a straight like block template and like the colors are the same, there's still such different styles.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a trap even.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else? I'm just like talking about it now. I can talk about this for so long.
Wait, what?
I said I can talk about this for so long, but I'm like, I don't know. I know I have a tendency to like get very opinionated. And I'm really trying not to, because I just get too opinionated about things. Yeah. So I told you to mute me if I do.
Good thing. I haven't felt the need to mute you tonight, so it's okay.
Good. I just get too opinionated. Anyways, what are your like just thoughts in general? Like, yeah, I mean, is there any like thing out there? Oh, I wanted to talk about this. Slide design.
Oh, like PowerPoint?
Yes. Templates. See, here's where I'm going to get opinionated. Don't mute me, though. I have a point. So.
All right.
I have a point. Slide design. If you are giving a presentation, templates are cool, and they can look really cool. And, you can have, like, a little, like, fire in the corner, like a rainbow swirl, or what, you know what I'm talking about. I have specific, like, templates in my head, and I'm not going to say what program they're on or anything. But you have those. But, like, using a slide design template, using like take away from your presentation. And so like in my own opinion, I use black slides with white text and pictures, and like that's what I use, and it's boring. But my and your thought process might be so different, and this is why I want to know. My thought process is, if it's not adding to my presentation in the slideshow, why would I have that design in there? See, I wasn't too opinionated. And I want to know your opinion.
So mine is that I think depending on the design, it can be very cohesive. There are some, so I just did a group dynamics class, and we had to give presentations like at least once a week.
Really?
Like it was either once a week or once every like week and a half. But we would get a new group a new topic and we'd put it together. And so I've watched a lot of presentations this last semester, and I've done a couple presentations. And I think that, so like one of them that we did, like our final, we had it was just a plain white slide. The front slide had like a pink accent, and then like it just had one line of pink underneath the title of every slide. So it was a very simple pop of color, but then like we all wore pink, and like all of our photos somehow had pink in them. So like, not that it was like overdone, but it made the whole thing feel more cohesive. And so I think that I mean, yes, I understand why you want to do boring slides, but there's a tendency of, if things are visually boring, people will feel bored. It's one of the reasons you're not supposed to put text on slideshows. Like, you're not supposed to put text because the people will read it instead of listening to you. But then, like, if you put up a slide and it's just like a straight wall of text, people are just going to go, oh my goodness.
They're not going to listen or read.
Yeah. And so I think that your slides should be visually interesting, but not distracting.
Okay.
That is my opinion on that.
I just wanted it. So before I did this, I wanted to be a public speaker, which I think I've told you before. And so like I got into like the whole slide design thing. I have a public speaking YouTube channel, and like all of my slideshows are like black with white. And like and it's because like, geez, I'm gonna get into the whole like thing behind public speaking, because my job was to be a public speaking tutor and I TA public speaking classes. But with like some templates, like if you're using like that slight accent of pink, like to tie your whole thing together, like that completely makes sense. But like if you're talking about, geez, because I took that class. I don't think we had that many presentations. But if you're talking about the movie, what is it with the NASA? Yes, you knew it before I even had to explain it.
We only watched one movie.
Oh, we watched like 3.
We only watched 1.
Oh, okay. We watched like 2 or 3. Anyways, really good movie. But like that one's about space travel, NASA. And if like I'm putting a picture or like a slide design of like fire in the corner, or something, like it's just taking away from it. And so like with slideshows and creating templates for slideshows and using pre-made templates for it and whatnot, like that has to specifically do with your presentation and tying it all together.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of almost like a different topic, because it's more about making sure that your template fits into what you're saying, which is something we're going to talk about later, of like, what message does your design have? What are you communicating? So
yeah. See, this is what I was thinking about, though, like why you would create your own templates and like how you could create templates to work in a theme. Like that's my thought. That was my thought process behind it. So that's kind of why I was like hitting those areas. Yeah. But I'm glad that we got into other topics too.
Yeah.
So we are at 58 minutes. So we're gonna wrap it up, I think. Final thoughts.
Yes. Templates are okay for a little bit, but don't let that, like, always learn the skill. Like, don't rely on templates forever if you can do it yourself, because one day someone else is going to figure out that they can also use templates and you won't be as valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, same thing, because I feel like that generalizes it to everything that we've discussed, whether it's mock-ups or social media or slide design or anything like that. Create a template and create it for yourself. And my template for this whole thumbnail, Kaitlin can use it. It's a very easy one, but I still created that template, and so like I have the ability to edit it and do all of this stuff to it and like create a theme around it. And so create your own template that becomes easy for you to use because you know how to use it. but it's still your own, and it's not something that's already out there in the world. Make yourself different from everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's why you should create your own template. And maybe you can sell it, as Kaitlin was saying.
Yeah.
I'm never going to sell this template that I made, but it's a very specific template.
Yeah.
But yeah, possibly one day you could sell it, which would be super cool. Anyways, we have hit exactly an hour. So we are right on time for this episode. If you would like to see more of my stuff, specifically my sticker stint that I have 15 days left on. Wow, 15 days left on it. Oh, not almost less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Go to my Instagram at diuguidvisualcomms. You can also find my Twitter at diuguidvisuals. That's where you can find my stuff. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Come join us in the chats. We really love having people in the chats. Super nice to get their input. So join us there. To find Kaitlin's stuff, go to at @KaitlinSpirations. She has some really cool stuff that she's working on.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to have a YouTube channel that we're going to be live streaming to that on Wednesday. Yes, so find us on there on Wednesday. We will make sure that we post on both of our channels the link so that people can find it. Find us on there. Come join us in the live chats. Our topic today was create your own templates and reasons why. And we went all over the place for it. All over the place.
All over.
I'm totally okay with. But yeah, I mean, comment below. Comment your opinions. Comment comment your opinions about it. Comment, if you disagree with my opinion or her opinion or anything, that's fine. Just, comment, let us know what you're thinking, because I would love to know what your opinions on pre-made templates are.
Yep.
Other than that, I think that's it. I don't think we really talked about other people's art pages per se.
Not really.
No. So I don't think we really need to attribute anybody there. But thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on Wednesday with our animation and our last day of using the StreamYard Premium or whatever this is. So, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.